I promised you we would talk about the undiscussables today. And the undiscussables are those things that you just feel like you can't say. You know what you want to say, but you feel like if I say that, they're going to think I'm an asshole. If I say that, it's going to hurt their feelings. If I say that, then they're going to say this, and then it's going to be a whole thing. We just run out of script. We're like, I don't know what to say. I literally don't know the words to say. That's what I mean when I say undiscussables. And so whether it's, look, I've been talking to you for 15 years about how to load the dishwasher properly, and you're not hearing me, and I can't say it one more time. Or, gosh, Aunt Julie's, invited us over for XYZ and I don't want to go, but I can't tell her I don't want to go because we always go. It'll be a thing if I don't go. Or maybe it's a thing at work where they're like, you don't mind doing XYZ, do you? And you're like, I do mind. I don't want to do that. I don't want to stay late. I don't want to cover for that person. But you feel like you can't because you're not being a team player. And what if they fire you? What if they just start to treat you bad? I get it. So let me help you solve this problem. I will preface this by saying my least favorite plot device is when the only reason there's a story is because somebody doesn't know something. You know what I mean? When there's a story, when like, if just at the very beginning they said, oh, by the way, I'm your mother. Or, oh, by the way, I've been in love with you since third grade. Or, oh, by the way, she did it. Or, oh, by the way, like if somebody just said the thing, then there would be no story, right? That drives me nuts. I always feel like, say the thing, just say it, just say what's happening. And I love shows where they do that, where they say what's really going on. And then everybody can sort of deal with it. And the story gets to move forward and the characters get to grow and people get to deal with the consequences of their actions. I love that. Consider, where in your life are you living inside of a movie where the reason nothing is happening is because somebody doesn't know something, because you're not telling the truth, or maybe you're not letting other people tell the truth to you. That could be a writer downer. Where are you not telling the full truth or the truth at all? And or where have you created a circumstance in which other people can't say the truth to you? In case it's cheap storytelling, use your words. Veronica says, how do I feel about Hamlet? Yeah, see, this is the thing. I went and saw The Complete Works of Shakespeare Abridged a couple of weeks ago at the high school. The kids did an incredible job. Incredible job. It was a beautiful production. Really, really well done. And it makes me so tenderhearted to see kids doing theater because, like everybody, that's where I started. Saved my life. Theater teachers save lives. That's all I'm saying. But they make a big thing at the end of how Hamlet is the greatest play in the English language. And I'm like, agree to disagree. And part of it is because, yes, there's so much like rumination and the not discussing of things. Not my favorite. June says there would be no soap opera without secrets. Right. I know. So where's the soap opera in your life? And you can tell because you feel stuck, you feel trapped. Maybe you even feel sort of bullied, not threatened, but just like everybody's going to gang up on me if I say no, if I don't go to this family event, or if I don't do this thing that I've always done. So here's how to say it. Here it is. This is my super simple solution. Make it not personal. Make it a rule or a policy. So someone says, oh, Sam, we can't wait to see you at the blah, 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 blah on Sunday. And you say, oh my gosh, I have a policy now that I don't go out on Sundays. Thank you so much for inviting me, but I won't be there, right? It's not you. It's not you saying I don't want to go. It's you saying, no, I have a policy. I don't go out on Sundays. Now, you actually have to make that policy and stick to it. You can't just make up a policy for the sake of turning someone down. I mean, I guess you could. It'd be a little out of integrity. Or you could say, I have a policy that I don't do things I don't want to do, so I won't be there. I have a policy that I don't stay after 5. So I'm afraid that work is going to have to wait till tomorrow morning. Oh, I have a policy that mornings are my family time. I don't meet before 8 a.m. If you don't like the word policy, you can just say it's a rule. Oh, I have a rule for myself that I don't stay out after 10. I have a rule for myself that I don't go to crowded events anymore because it really gets me anxious. When I turned 50, I made a couple of 50th birthday presents to myself, one of which was I don't go to parties. I have a rule that I don't go to parties. I will come to your book signing. I will come to your show. I will come to your conference. I'll come to all kinds of things, but I will not come to something where the main function is we just stand around and pretend like we're having fun. I can't do it. It's not good for me. And when I do it, all my friends know that I'm breaking my rule for them, and they really appreciate it because it's a big deal if I'm going to show up to a party. I don't have to go to parties. I get to buy all the red lipsticks and all the pens. These are my rules. So I no longer have to agonize like, oh, should I buy those pens? Yes, I am allowed to buy the pens. Oh, should I buy that red lipstick? Yes, I am allowed. Do I have to go to that party? No, I have a rule that I don't go. And the thing is, this sort of relates to what I was talking about last week. I was talking about that diner story about how I went to the diner and I tried to order a breakfast. And the short version is it came up all stacked up. And I was like, oh, I would like this breakfast. I would just like it deconstructed. I do this with bagels, lox, and cream cheese too, which is like my favorite thing to eat practically. But I'm always like, no, I don't really want it as a sandwich. I want it all separate. Like I want to put together my own little. Well, in this diner, that was apparently a big problem. And the guy's explanation was, that's just the rules. And there was like nowhere for me to go from that. I was like, it's just the rules? There's rules about Okay. And I wrote it all up. It's now in the blog post, actually, if you go look at the realsambennett.com, because people were it got such a big response. People wrote me back. It was really lovely. And I talked about some of the ways that I sort of talked myself off the ledge of being so upset about something so stupid. In retrospect, right, the things I wish I could have gone back in time and said and be like, really? I have a rule that I don't abide by stupid rules. So how about if I just order everything a la carte? Or, I mean, there's a million ways I could have handled it. Your rules can support you in other things too, right? I have a rule that if I think something 3 times, I have to say it. And this helps me out a lot. I was just in a VIP session with a client yesterday. As we were talking, I sort of got this hit and I thought, that's silly. And then I got it again. And I was like, And then I got it again. And I thought, well, now I've thought it 3 times. So I said, look, I don't know how this is going to land for you, but I've thought it 3 times. And I have a rule for myself that if I think it 3 times in a row, I have to say it. So I'm just going to say this and you tell me what you want to do with it. And I said it. And she was like, I'm so glad you said that. I was half thinking that myself. This is about to save me 8 months of work. Thank you so much. I'm like, great. So this is how I deliver 10 times value in a VIP session, right? I'm just about to save you 8 months of work by suggesting what seemed like kind of a offbeat or slightly random idea that turned out was really helpful. I used to do this with Luke too sometimes, where I'd be like, honey, I don't want to say this, but I've thought it 3 times, so I kind of feel like I have to. And he'd be like, okay, say it. And, it's not that out of character. It's not even if you're thinking like, I'm not a rule person. I'm a rebel. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. You are those things, but you are also a rule follower. You have all kinds of rules for yourself. You have a rule that you will make a cup of coffee every morning. You have a rule that you don't watch scary movies. You have a rule that if there's a bowl of popcorn, you're going to eat all of it. You have a rule that you stop and notice what phase the moon is in. You've got all kinds of things that you do every single time. So what rules can you make that will support you? Another way this rule came into play is when I was early on in my business and people would ask me like, oh, can I pick your brain? Oh, I have questions. Oh, can I pick your brain? And I was like, gosh, I want to be helpful, but this brain picking thing takes a lot of time. It's taking time away that I could be spending making money. So finally, I created a policy. And the policy is, if you have a question that will take me less than 5 or 10 minutes to answer, just email me or we'll get on the phone. Like I've got 5 or 10 minutes for anybody. If it's going to take more than 5 or 10 minutes to answer, then you have to book a private session with me. And that felt like I was generous. I could be generous with my time and my wisdom and helping people out, but not so generous as to feel taken advantage of. This is my little insight for you today. What's feeling undiscussable? What are you not telling people? Where is the story stopped because you can't say the truth? And how can you support yourself and make a better world for everybody by creating a policy? The policy is no electronics at the dinner table. That's the rule. We all have to abide by the rules. So it's a chance for you to be in better integrity with yourself and with the people you care about. We're at 15 minutes right now. I'm so glad you were here with me. How does this feel? This little 15-minute thing, I think it's good, right? I think we can deliver just as much value in half the time. Plus, we've got the 15-minute book coming out in the spring. So all things are geared towards 15 minutes these days. Let's do one breath to just close out this circle and make a commitment to yourself. Make a rule for yourself. Today, I'm going to enact a new rule that's going to support me. Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for doing this with me. Mwah. Short and sweet, exactly.